Hello and welcome to Rise, Hope and Healing After Sexual Betrayal. If you're just joining us and you've just discovered betrayal, we invite you to check out our Season 1, which was created specifically with you in mind. And it also has a companion online course at humanintimacy.com. If our conversation today is helpful for you, we invite you to share it so that others don't have to walk alone. We are so glad that you're here. Welcome to Rise. I'm MaryAnn Michaelis, and today I'm joined by Dallin Bruun. And we're going to be talking about mindfulness and really giving you tools and resources to help you to manage the emotions that come with betrayals. Dallin is an expert in this area and is going to be sharing with us his knowledge, his wisdom, his experience. And so, Dallin, let's start with your introduction and share with us how you got here.
Yes, really nice to be here, MaryAnn, and what a beautiful work you're doing. Mindfulness feels like something that's been extremely helpful for me and the people I've worked with, really for exactly what you're saying, and a lot more. I was born and raised here in Utah. I was raised LDS, and I did my undergrad at BYU. I'm an English major, but I was introduced to the word mindfulness at BYU, at the counseling department, because while I was a student, life became extremely stressful. And I think things are getting a little better in the modern world, but there was a lot of stigma and shame, and it almost felt like crawling on my knees toward, like, I'm broken, fix me. Anyway, I went home and just cried my eyes out the first time I went to therapy. But the counseling department's very well trained. I got put with Dr. Buxton, the resident mindfulness expert, and BYU had sent him all across the globe to go to various meditation retreats, ashrams and monasteries, etc. And so he was launching their mindfulness program because at the time, throughout the 90s, a lot of studies had been done, and it started looking promising. And BYU was an early adopter, and it was very bizarre. It was quite Buddhist in nature, at least in application,
Okay, let me just make sense of this. So you've been raised as a member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. You're
Right.
going to Brigham Young University, a church school, and you are struggling with your mental health, looking for counseling, and there's a lot of shame with that. And you're saying, I need some help. And they put you with a therapist who teaches mindfulness. And there's these Buddhist philosophies. Like you're like, what is this? How do I make sense?
Oh, yeah.
Make sense of
Oh, yeah. It was a head spinner for sure.
it?
And I think at first, anyone who's raised in any religion for their whole life is going to feel maybe some suspicion or skepticism, at least, of a new thing. But this was packaged as mental health, and this was just pads on the floor like you go to a yoga studio, and we're going to sit in silence. There was instruction on how to engage with that mindfully, but
It was one-on-one, or was this in a group?
it was mostly in a group.
Okay.
But not a large group. It wasn't a huge thing yet. I remember just sitting with myself and being extremely shocked that there's this whole dimension of my humanity that was flying under the radar, that was extremely significant to everything, every opinion that I was generating, every thought that I was having, and that there was no awareness of it. I was just a pinball, like bouncing through all of that. And when you begin to notice its relevance to life, you really start to bring a new awareness toward it, toward thoughts in your mind, towards feelings and reactions in your body. And then it starts to flow outward to relationships in your life, to nature, and it feels quite therapeutic. It's very spiritual and it's very natural. And even in my master's degree in marriage and family therapy, it was brought up numerous times. So I think it's becoming well integrated into modern mental health.
I remember Dr. Skinner mentioning there's this gentleman named Dallin who does our mindfulness here at Adult Recovery. I know he had mentioned that you've done a lot of retreats, and I'd really like to help our audience understand who you are with this.
Yeah, so I mentioned a master's degree for an MFT. Everybody's kind of familiar with that, but they have something similar for mindfulness. It's called MBSR, mindfulness-based stress reduction, and it's a sort of modern professional training program if you want that mindfulness credential. And I did this before my master's degree, the BYU experience. I was there for a couple years doing that, and it started feeling like this is what I wanted to do professionally. And so Mike told me about MBSR, and I applied and I got in, and oh my gosh, I had to fly to universities to get training, but the core curriculum was 6 7-day silent meditation retreats. And you could do them anywhere in the world. They just had to follow this particular protocol. And they're mostly coming from the Buddhist tradition. I went to India, I went to Thailand, and all across the globe doing these initial 6, and then I just kept going. I became somewhat of a retreat junkie there for a little while, but I try to get to one every year at this point.
So I was just doing some quick math for this degree, 30 days of silence.
Oh, yeah. You want to ease your way in. I had a couple years of training because your first 20 minutes of silence and then working toward 1 hour of just sitting with yourself is going to be a lot.
Okay, so I want to possibly make a bridge, and you can say, yes, this works, MaryAnn, or no, this doesn't. But one of the things that I believe is so imperative, especially for betrayed partners, is learning to listen to their gut, learning to listen to themselves. And I'm assuming this is really about learning to listen to yourself, learning to turn inward and slowing down and just becoming one with yourself. Those are the words I put on it. But how do you describe that?
Oh, for sure. The word listening, that's beautiful. Maybe just hopping into let's define mindfulness. And one way to step into a definition is we could say it's not a strategy to change your life. It's relational. It's a way to relate to life. It's a relational context. It's extremely natural. This isn't some new thing. In childhood, we start adopting involuntary reactionary survival mechanisms. We call it fight or flight. So some issue arrives in life, and tucked nicely in the nervous system in the body is the body's natural reaction, and we will run. And running can feel like an ejection of the body, dissociation, and numbness. Or it can be a fight, like I can't have this in my body. I resist this in my body. And those are adopted very early. By the time you bring mindfulness to this, it's often many years of neural pathways being deeply ingrained of running, fighting, resisting, ejecting. Now, this deep listening it's inverse. It's not involuntary. In fact, mindfulness suggests you bring awareness. The proper term is you. You will be required for this. It will feel like work, especially initially. But work implies some strategy of this must shift here, go there, do that. Whereas, again, this is a relational context of bringing you to it. My go-to metaphor. This is the mother at night, sleeping peacefully, and then the newborn child cries. It's almost never fun, but you notice how the mother moves through this quite naturally, but she doesn't go for fight or flight. There's a cry in the night, something unpleasant, but she's not going to plug her ears. She's not going to run. She's not going to shut the door. In most cases, she's not going to go in there and scream at the child, but she certainly goes toward, and you could call that work. You could. But it's that motherly love, that motherly wisdom. And what does she do? She approaches the child. She scoops up the child. And the mother just gently rocks and holds and says, it's okay. It's okay. There's nothing abnormally abstract. There's no instruction manual. There's no calculation. There's no master's degree. You don't need to read piles of Brene Brown for this. It's very natural. In context, when you're with your loved ones and you feel safe, you're playing Uno with the family, you're having a nice meal. This is you. Like a great definition of mindfulness is you when you feel safe. And yeah, it's nice at Uno, it's nice at dinner, but I bring in the mother because it's also nice in difficult situations. We approach, we move in, we scoop them up, and we hold. This is mindfulness, and it starts often with the body, with the mind. And that can be very new when you've spent years running, hiding, numbing. But just to tie it right back to what you initiated this with, yeah, betrayal might be the inverse. I've been abandoned, I've been betrayed. That is a festering trust issue. And what's nice about this is you're not only like teaching the system trust, you are the very source of that trust, which is very empowering.
This is so important because when I've been betrayed and I have no idea what my reality really is, I can turn internally and I can reassure and nurture myself, and I can ground with my own reality, even when I don't know what my reality is outside of myself. That's what I was connecting with when you were saying that.
Mommy, I'm scared. This is hard. I don't know what to do. Things are not okay. What can I trust? Yes, we have that crying child, and it's very real, and it's very normal to the human experience. And of course, there are degrees for the intensity of the cry. And at some point, we could call that trauma. Then the mother, I am here. I am nurturing you. I am with you. And really, it's the bringing of these together. That's mindfulness.
So this is a fascinating conversation because as a trauma therapist, I have my clients bring their present day self to comfort and nurture that younger self. And here we're just extending that in another way. This is really fascinating to me.
Oh, yeah. The connections through almost every major therapeutic modality, especially the more recent ones. Mindfulness is another iteration, but the core is connecting you to you and your humanity.
Right. So here we're connecting it and saying, oh, we don't have to have that outside person. We are that outside person. We can do this ourselves through this tool of mindfulness.
Exactly. And it can feel selfish, but here's how I might meet that. I'll say this sometimes, just trust me for a minute. Learning this inner child who's crying and needs your help is going to be like some Harvard professor on learning how to love. If what's called for is a mother in there, she will show you how to mother out there. If what's called for in here is a friend, she or he will show you how to be a friend out there. We're in this collaboration. And if that great commodity that's found, we could call it love. We love sharing love, but it's hard to share what you do not have. And so once again, there's another impetus to go in and have that child show you how to wake up, love, and share it.
And I think we do have it. We just don't know.
Yep.
One of the most fascinating things I find in the trauma work that I do with my clients is when they find the answers, their answers are so unique to them. I could never in a million years have found the wisdom that they carry inside of them. We have it. We often don't know how to find it or how to look for it.
Amen. And it's very understanding. It's very wise. And you can start sharing that with your whole system. You can start gifting yourself, becoming a source of what you're looking for. And when you're a child for many years, that idea is light years from your heart. You have no idea. You're absolutely positive that your sources of love, your sources of trust, your sources of kindness, your sources of connection, they're out there. And so when an external partner betrays or cuts you off or doesn't treat you well, and you're dependent on that source of love, oh my gosh, the betrayal level is through the roof. And so this is a very helpful teaching, not just for betrayed partners, but for the entire human race to learn to provide the things that we most need. And trust, oh man, that is prerequisite number one. Safety and trust, they're very related.
So, what we know from the research with betrayed partners, they look through the world with a different lens because my most intimate partner, who was my attachment person, betrayed me. So now I question every relationship. So, how do I get to that space, Dallin?
Anyone who's been there knows the crying childness of that experience. It feels so big. One way I like to introduce this is, let's say you had this great unconditional hug just locked and loaded in your heart. You wanted to share this unconditional hug, and you drive over to Costco and you go inside that store and you just start hugging strangers, shoppers. You don't even introduce yourself. You just start hugging people. How's that going to go? Well, there might be a shopper or two ready to receive that, but for the most part,
You're going to get kicked out.
you might even get charged with a crime. That's not okay. That is not how love operates. It doesn't matter your intention. You could have the greatest intentions ever, but you don't understand love. And then if you just contrast that with your shopping and you look down the aisle and you make faces with your old friend, and you guys have been friends for a long time. Maybe you haven't seen each other in a while, but there's trust. Lots of it. Lots of healthy, positive interactions. And then that hug, just naturally, spontaneously, it goes from something that could be a crime, you could get kicked out of the store, to the best thing imaginable. And the difference is trust. And this process is mindfulness, or relating with yourself through love. These are the initial steps. Like when you're at a party and you want to connect with someone and you're going to earn their trust. Oh, who are you? Tell me your story. Where are you from? These would be questions we'd ask.
So, you're saying this is a relationship that has to be built.
There. That
Okay.
word again. This is a relating. And if trust has been ripped away, there are literal trust issues. Yeah, it's no small thing to begin loving and earning the trust of the little child who's been hurt so many times in life and just has a sort of default hiding under the bed or hiding under the closet or running or fighting. Yep, that's pretty much most of us. It will be a very loving process where commitment will be required.
So, especially coming back to betrayal, oftentimes there is a self betrayal that occurs. If I'm being gaslit, my partner says, "This is your reality." I get stuck in this precipice. So, if I choose your reality, that means I often betray myself. I abandon myself. So, I'm wondering, how do I get back there? Where would I start?
Like a pre-start,
Okay.
would be introducing mindfulness techniques like the center lane thought of breathing exercises, some kind of somatic movement. At this point in time, there's so many, we couldn't even count. Those are very good preliminary steps.
I refer to somatic, and I'm talking about Peter Levine's work, like how my body wants to react, usually related to an emotion, body response. But when you use somatic, how are you relating to that?
Thank you. Sometimes we just throw out these terms thinking everybody knows it. Soma means body in Greek. So of the body, just this turning toward the body, a lot of the issues that we're facing are right here, stored right here in this nervous system along the spine. And how we relate with that, you might call somatic, or often the word is connotated as interventions that participate in the body. So maybe less cognitive interventions and more somatic or body related. So this would be movement, breathing, gentle holding, those kinds of things we could umbrella with the term somatic.
So if I were saying, great, I just listened to this podcast, where do I find this stuff? Where do I go? Where would I look for this?
Oh, you Google mindfulness or somatic approaches or trauma-informed interventions, you're going to find a lot. I like YouTube because they're often free.
Okay. So am I looking
Uh,
for meditations? Am I looking for exercise? What am I looking for?
To make it easy, I'm guessing a clientele would really like Tara Brach, Tarabrach. You type her name and then the word rain, RAIN, into YouTube. If this is your first introduction, she is going to be perfect. Best voice, very soothing. Maybe Kristen Neff. Her branding wouldn't be mindfulness. Her work is called mindfulness-based self-compassion.
Mm-hmm.
And she's just evolving mindfulness-based stress reduction.
So Tara Brock, she has a book, Radical Acceptance. It's an excellent book. Kristen Neff, her website is self-compassion.org. Under practices, she's got really excellent drop-down meditations you can do. They're ones that you might start with then.
Oh, yeah. If you Google search MBSC, mindfulness-based self-compassion, and then you type your area, if it's a larger area of the United States, likely you're going to find an 8-week course. You could find it for MBSR or MBSC, and that is one of the best intros to mindfulness or self-compassion. I use them interchangeably.
Okay, here's my fear that shows up. I'm hearing you say that and I'm thinking, okay, if I type that up and I found something nearby, what if I go and I just start crying through the entire thing because I'm just kind of a
Ooh.
mess right now? That's my fear.
Well, this brings us back. I wanted to start where most people are at. And usually when they come into a therapy office and they've been betrayed, they are a puddle. Those tears are so there. And so I'll reiterate, the preliminary steps can be very helpful. I like to say, we're going to head directly towards those tears, but if it's too much, you tell me and we'll back out. But this is coming right back to the mother. The little child's just been crying in the crib and it's been dark for maybe decades. So we get in touch with our mother. This is just you. This is you. And you just listen. And we're not listening for a cry out there. It's right in here. And I'll often say it like neck, chest, belly. Do you notice? You know, if there's already tears, it's not surprising if they feel a flare in the neck or the chest or the belly. Yeah, that's it. That's the direction. Okay. And you soften the tone of voice. Okay. Let's approach. Let's maybe follow a breath towards that cry, towards that heightening. And we're just gently noticing. This is the mother getting close. Okay. Rather than say, go away, pain, or stop crying. And just a reminder, that's all a child has. They've got fight or flight. They've got reactionary survivalism. This is new. Relax the outcome orientation.
So I'm really coming into this with some curiosity and I'm exploring. So I'm noticing in my throat, it feels really tight because there are tears that are welling up. So I'm noticing that and I'm noticing that my chest feels tense.
Good. Putting words. When you've spent your life being very distant or dissociated from this, again, we're not coming back with more fight or flight. We're bringing awareness, and awareness is revealing the truth and putting accurate labels to what you notice. Oh, let's find the location. Oh, it's in your neck. Okay, what do you notice? Like, translate that weird feeling. Oh, it's tight. Oh, it feels sad. It feels I'm abandoned. I'm betrayed. Good. Okay. Let's see what it feels like. If it's not too much, if we're not too much in the deep end, we can pull out anytime. It's okay.
Where does your body feel that betrayal?
Yeah. Be that mother and just scoop it up. Sometimes, if they're open to it, I say, let's just put a gentle hand where it hurts. This is the mother just holding the child.
So this is minding it. I'm bringing my mind to awareness of it.
Well, the mind can be somewhat confusing because this isn't the noun, the mind, in mindfulness. This is the verb to mind, which is not used much in the US. But to mind is to bring careful, caring attention. And so a better word for me is to care.
Okay.
Bring some care. Bring some gentleness. Bring that caring, strong mother. We're not there to fix the baby. We're not there to change the baby. We trust that our presence will be the very medicine called for, and we will just unconditionally hold. I'm right here. I'm right here. I'm right here. It's okay. Yeah. It's not quite 30 retreats I've done for 7 days, but it's over 20. You can do that for a very, very, very long time. But even having a client do that for 20 seconds can be a very new thing for them, dipping their toe in a new way to relate with this body, with these memories, with this trauma, with this grief, this breakup, this divorce, this betrayal. Yeah, it can be radically new. But the emphasis on this might be more natural than fight or flight. It certainly feels human.
I love what you shared. I want to clarify one part of it.
Okay.
I'm making an assumption here, and please elaborate or correct. So I'm thinking about many of my clients. I'm assuming if we were having this conversation, they might try this and they'd come back and say, yeah, MaryAnn, I couldn't focus. I tried and my mind just went out the door. And my assumption and what I do is say, that's okay. Just notice it and come back. I'm assuming, as you talked about earlier, we're talking about some pre-preparation. This is part of this experience. But how do you respond to that?
Oh, the mind wandered? Oh, well, that's okay. Again, and this is like the mother speaking to the child's screams of it's not okay. Is she lying to the child when she says it's okay? No, it's this strange unconditional intervention where, no, literally, because I am here with you, I am going to grant an okayness to this. It's going to be new. I know that side of us that wants to fix and tool and change and modify.
And do it right and do it perfectly.
And not fail. And that's a side of humanity, and it's beautiful and it's wonderful. This will be new, though. Your mind's wandering? Okay. Oh, your mind was just judgmental? Okay. Oh, your heart is racing, you're tight, your chest is tight, your stomach is rumbly. Okay. Okay.
I'm not doing this right.
Yeah, I'm a failure. I'm failing. I've been abandoned. These are all real human things. We're just introducing something new that isn't that aggressive fight or flight or fixing, but it is very powerful. And it is hidden everywhere, every dimension, all the spiritual traditions. This brave entering. We're not entering with machetes drawn. We're entering with our arms out. Here I am. Oh, guess what? I'm imperfect. That's okay, my dear one. I'm broken. And I see your value, and I'm right here. I'm right here. This companionship. It's really what we're looking for. We're all just like, I want to be loved. I want to be cared for. I want to feel safe. And it's strange when you start to glimpse, oh, wow, I can provide that for me. And now I can share that with others. There's no longer codependence. You're dependent on that love and your partner's dependent on that love. And there's this like, well, I need that from you. And they're like, I need it from you too. No, I'm loved. I'm safe. And I want to share that. That's empowered connection.
Beautiful.
So if you spent your whole life running, fighting, titrating gentle baby steps in that direction until you just start to trust your motherly arms, your fatherly arms are big, are strong. They can hold this trauma we went through. And our clients may have had a betrayal recently, but if you have them check into the history of that feeling, it probably goes way back. I mean, the birth canal was pretty traumatizing for most of us. So this is the universe we live in. This is the globe we inhabit. It's scary. It's chaotic. It can be very difficult and very pain-inducing, but also these loving arms are big. And we can hold and we can learn what trust is from us, authentic trust. It's a quality that is very empowering.
A phrase that comes from eight that I think encompasses what we're talking about is one day at a time, one step at a time, one breath at a time. Well, I can't control anything, but I can right here, right now, I can take my next breath.
Ooh, that's so weird. Intuitively, I was about to quote AA too.
Oh, what were you going to say?
This is probably one of the most well-known parts of that program, the Serenity Prayer. They chant it together if you've ever gone right at the first, if not the first thing. And I'll summarize my take on that. Hey, everybody, guess what? We have issues in our life. Most of us, it's alcoholism, but also everyone else. We've got issues in our life. And we want to let you know, we already know that you're going to think control is the only way. That little kid, it's all you got. We're here to tell you, you don't have as much as you think. You really don't have as much as you think, but you have something stronger. The serene acceptance, the motherly arms, the Christ-like love. It's very big and it's very powerful. And we're inviting you to step in that room, find that crying child, scoop it up.
That's beautiful. I've never heard it that way.
Oh, I've never heard it that way. That was a pure Dallin riff on the Serenity Prayer.
That was beautiful. Before we wrap up, I want to ask if there's anything else you wanted to share.
Self-touch can be very beautiful. So I would invite all of us, find that discomfort, that unease, see if you notice the remnant little crying babies in the body, wherever they might be. And if you feel like it, gently put that loving palm, that mindful humanity, just gently put it there, or just put it on your heart. One hand, two hands, it doesn't matter. The body can't really tell a difference. And then notice the mother, she's like a poet. She's like a mindful poet. When she just feels that child in her arms, she knows exactly what to speak. We do this so well. Ultimately, it's you. It's you. You are the one who enters the room. So while you're here, just listen to that hurt. Okay, maybe it could use a little hug, but what does it need to hear? Speak those affirmations. Oh, yeah, that hurts. Oh, I see. Oh, yeah. No, that pain is valid. It's okay. It's okay that we're feeling betrayed. You're sad. Oh, that's normal. That's okay. I get it. I understand you. And I'm right here. I'm right here. And I'm not going anywhere. You can trust me. You can trust me. You know, Just let it be natural. Let it be natural. You might not have even noticed the inflection of your voice when you said that caring, oh, what can I do for you? It's so natural. We've been doing that for a long time for those safe people in our lives or animals. What's new is providing it for yourself.
Here's where I'm connecting with this, Dallin. Brene Brown talks about how we are wired for love and connection.
Ooh.
And because we are humans, we reach out when we see people in pain. And you're saying, hey, we have that. We are wired for love and connection, not just externally, but that's a power that we have to apply to ourselves internally as well.
Amen. Amen. And you could almost think of that pain as like love's signal to the system. Hey, something's off, something's broken, we're betrayed. And rather than run, rather than hide, you turn toward that pain in the body. And it's like very accurate breadcrumbs that we follow to our healing heart. And maybe that pain could be the worst thing in your life, but you turn this way and you listen and you learn from that pain. It could actually be like the Harvard professor of love that you've been looking for, this great teacher.
I've learned so much from you today. You've helped me make some good connections, Dallin. Thank you so much for your time and for joining us. It's been a brilliant conversation.
It has been brilliant. I think we covered it, and I've enjoyed this as well, MaryAnn. Thank you for inviting me.
Thanks, Dallin.